Hi, welcome to today's video. As you can see, we've got a very foggy landscape behind us. The weather's been a bit grey and dull all day, and I was hoping to go out and do a bit of painting today because I've got some teaching commitments over the weekend, so I won't be able to get out. And I went to London briefly just to pick up the Artist Magazine Award from the Pastoral Society this week, which was fantastic. Please take a look at the exhibition online. There's some fantastic work there, and I'm sure something for everybody. But back to this landscape, we're using this 10x8 canvas. It's all ready to go, and yeah, I thought I'd better come out and do some painting to keep myself sane. Right, let's see how we get on. I've got a very foggy landscape today. We're going to try and do that before it gets dark and rains. We've been here several times over the years, well, many times over the years, sketching with Basil. Here we are, I've got set up today. I brought two little canvases. They're about sort of 10x8 in inches, and these are the canvas clips that separate them from when I get back home. And then the canvases are kept separate as you're walking home, and you just fill in those corners if you want to with a bit of paint. So they're 10x8 canvases. Got the French easel set up there, ready to go. Brush rolls down there. Remember, always put your dirty brushes here at this side when you're finished, so you know they need to be washed. And then you sort of just, so basically if that was a dirty brush, you put that in there, fold it like that, and then roll it up so it doesn't contaminate the other brushes that are clean. I've got my terps, which goes in that one, and a little bit of oil paint medium, so that's stand oil and terps mixture. That goes in there. So our colours we're using today: titanium buff white, titanium white, cadmium yellow, lemon yellow, Naples yellow, cadmium red, magenta, Indian red, raw sienna, raw umber, violet, ultramarine blue, manganese blue, cobalt blue, and a black. That's what it looks like on glass palette. Right, we better get moving. Let's get some grey in there, lighten that a bit now. So I've mixed that with sort of buff titanium, violet, Naples yellow, a little bit of ivory black in there. I've got these canvases I wanted to use up. At least this time there's no painting underneath there, but they are canvases I've had hanging around the studio for a while. I think I bought them as spares for a workshop which I was doing, and nobody needed them, so I'm going to use them now. This is the other field that runs in front, diagonally across like that. Something like that. So the aim really at the beginning here is to just get as much covered as quick as I can with sort of like an average colour that you see if you sort of squint. You can sort of see, eliminate the details and just see what colour is there everywhere, you know, sort of like an average colour that sort of appears here and there. It's going to drop in through here, and then it starts to run up. The wind's picking up as well, so you may get a bit of wind noise through the mic. Just like to do that, to take that excess paint off at this stage. Sort of mix it all up a little bit. So we've got a raw umber, ultramarine blue and a bit of magenta, and I've just mixed it into the cool green. And I think that's probably too strong, but it needs to be a lot paler than that. So we'll have to add a bit of white into there just to knock it back. That's more like it up there, and I'll make the sky lighter so we can actually see it. I see this area, not the sky. So that runs through there. Yeah, it's a very misty, horrible, mucky day. Very disappointing. Oh, we've got Indian red, ultramarine blue here. Let's just get something in for this hedgerow that runs flat there, and then it starts to come across, and then that creeps up over there then and comes in front of this one. So we can get some trees and things just breaking into the landscape from the side there. That can go like that. And then we'll have these fence posts then running sort of along here, like this. And some of the tracks coming through there. That should be quite nice. So that's our first sort of blocking, initial blocking. You can still see the ground, yellow ochre ground colour coming through quite strongly, so we're going to have to really knock that back. But that's how I like to start painting, the first sort of 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes, just to get that something blocked in as quick as possible. And that's what we're looking at. Not a lot. Yeah, we need a clean brush now. We're used to the filbert, I think now. Go to the filbert, nice clean bit of the palette. So get that sort of wintry feel. This top bit in a bit easier. So what did I say I used? Naples yellow, violet, and a tiny bit of black. Short memory, eh? Violet and yellow work quite nicely together. So that, to get this in here, we'll scrape all this back in a minute as well. So I had to choose this view because I've got my back to the wind. I wanted to paint the view looking the other way with that gap where I've sketched a lot with basil there with different materials, and that's what I wanted to do again. Because the wind is coming in so strong, I've had to switch to this side so you can actually, you've got a chance of hearing what I'm saying. You want those fence posts to be coming in about here and running back, so that means that little building, I'm going to put the barn, try to, if my hand can stay steady enough in this wind. So there's a barn up there, we want to just get that in. And that stands out quite nicely against that sky, so I might have to lighten that sky again actually. This is a little tree there, cutting through. Quite a biggish one here. We can just flick this up into there for the moment. You've given us an idea of what's going on. More trees like that. Let's put a bit of that buff titanium in there because that will knock the colour out a little bit without using white. Now we've got a tree, series of trees going up, which are quite tall here. Something like this, and then a series of trees and there's some that disappear entirely up there. So what we can do there, we can just paint that sky colour back in there, a lighter version of it, so the trees sort of disappear. So ultramarine, Indian red, a bit of raw sienna. We need to just take that, so this needs to be stronger here, this tree in front of here, that's nice, I do like that. Start using the painting a little bit thicker. You see this colour come through then, it's nice. There's like a, so that's that bit there. This hedgerow comes up something like that. And then a little bit, made it too big I think. Let's get this field just tidied up a little bit. It's got a nice straightish edge on there. So cut into it a little bit, something like this, but without going too mad. And then that actually then goes more sort of yellowy as it comes forward, you see. See, now that's all becoming obvious behind there now. We've got some green coming through these trees and that now, which we couldn't see a minute ago. So I'm not going to put too much of it in because I quite liked it when it wasn't there. So now we can actually see things we couldn't see earlier, like over here. This is the barn, and then we can see this green coming through here in the field behind and up here as well, and all these individual trees, and we couldn't see that at all when we first started. So now this is the dilemma you have when you're painting plein air. So I'm going to try and keep it as it was in my mind and make the painting more foggy than it actually is at this moment in time. I might bring the chrome yellow out, which is that one. Use that chrome yellow in the foreground because I don't think the cadmium yellow is going to do the job. Let's see if I mix that with the cobalt blue, touch of magenta to neutralise it. We've got that type of green now going on, so that might be a little bit better for this foreground. So let's try that again. Let's try with ultramarine. So chrome yellow and ultramarine now, and that looks like this. That's probably better for that area just here. Going away, that's quite nice actually. So we've got this field end, cuts across there, and in there, this one, it does sort of have a bit of that in there as it goes away. This is the flat brush I'm using for this. I've kept this brush for all the green areas that I need covering quite quickly. Number 2 ivory rigger. It's a nice brush actually, I really like it. And that's my favourite in the set, I think. There's some yellow lights in the distance up there and I really want to get those in. This is Helston, some street lights in Helston up towards the supermarket up top there. That's that tree, so you've got some branches running through. So I just need a bit of medium on this brush to get this paint to flow through and over the wet paint. Instead of dragging through it too much, I want it to sit on top rather than sort of pick up and drag, if that makes sense. I want a bit of medium on there to help that process happen. And this is just some sort of random shapes. It might be difficult for you to see on the camera, but I can actually see some red in this bit here. And it goes back, and there's sort of like this bit, I don't know why, but it's like some red in there from somewhere. That's going to bring it forward, but I don't mind that. It looks quite nice actually. Yeah, I quite like that. So I'm going to put yellow and some red to try and give it a bit of a glow. This is the branches on this tree in the foreground here. So I'm just going to flick that rigger around. So this is where we're at the moment, and you can see there, look, the little lights I put in. You may be able to make them out in the distance over there. Look, I don't know if you can. So over there, the fog's just coming back in again. Anyway, this is what we've got so far. Zoom out. Here's the palette. So colours we've been using are mainly from the yellows, a couple of reds, and well, most of them actually. Not many. I don't think there's any colour I haven't used. How strange. You know, I've used every colour on there. God, that's a surprise. Like, sometimes you put colour out and you don't use it. Anyway, that's where we're at. That's what it looks like. There's the texture. You can just see some of the texture on top of the canvas there, where the foreground tree is, and obviously there's a bit less, obviously less texture as I go further back into the painting. And there's the reds. Look, I was talking about it a minute ago. So I'm going to try and get into that, get something on for the foreground, and that'll do. Need to get a move on here because the light is now starting to fade quite quickly. So let's get some of these tracks in, reddish yellow tracks. Now basically we're leading us across like this. So this track, something like that. I'm going to have one leading off from here. It's quite a thick, biggish one. Random marks, random shapes. Nice one there. So we can just, like, these can be quite random. There's more, another one going off up there. They sort of disappear. There's a nice area here, and that runs off down this way then. And some random marks like that. A little bit of shadow or darkness in some of these areas. Nice to have a few darks in along there. Where the fence posts are, it sort of comes down. You can just sort of see the edge of the field sort of runs across like this here. It's a different type of green then. Just got to get these fence posts in, and that'll have to do because it's just getting too dark now. Let's see now. What the first one, the most prominent one, needs to go across there. So just drop these in freehand. A bit closer to us like that, and to about there. Something like that. That's it for today. Too foggy and too dark for painting now. It's very damp, so getting quite cold now. But good fun nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.